You're listening to Witch Wednesdays, your weekly podcast source for all things witchcraft in the modern world. Welcome back to Witch Wednesdays. I'm Steph, and today we are chatting about Glamour Magic. So Glamour Magic is something that I have covered on Patreon before. So if you are a patron, some of this information may be repetitive for you, but I am trying to include some new stuff, as I have gotten quite a few questions about Glamour Magic in general, about what it is and how to do that. So I wanted to cover that today to sort of answer all of those questions that I get. Because Glamour Magic, to me, is more than just makeup. I think that is what a lot of witches fall into the trap of thinking that it is just makeup and that encompasses all of sort of what Glamour Magic is. And that can definitely be a part of it, but it is so much more than that. It's really anything to do with your physical appearance. So that is from your hair to your clothing to the foods that you eat. All of those things fall under this idea of glamour magic. It's a very subtle form of magic that changes how you yourself and others perceive you. So it's all about changing perceptions and changing the energy around you in order to change those perceptions. So it really is something that should be layered with other workings, because I don't think that glamour magic is enough on its own to constitute a full working of that thing that you're trying to manifest, but it's great to layer with other workings, and it can just be a lot of fun. Before we get into what is glamour in society and what is glamour magic, I wanted to first start with what is glamour in pop culture, because I think that is where a lot of confusion can come in and where a lot of the ideas of things that witches want to do but can't do comes in. We cannot use magic, glamour magic or otherwise, to make physical changes to ourselves, because the laws of physics dictate what our physical reality is. So even though pop culture witches use magic, this comes up a lot in Disney movies, to change their voice, to change their hair color, to change their facial features, this happens all the time. It happens in Charmed. It happened in Harry Potter. You have Tonks, who is just a shapeshifter. You have these shape-shifting potions that they use. You see it a lot in Disney movies. You have it in The Little Mermaid, where Ursula changes to get Prince Eric to fall in love with her. You have it in Snow White, where the evil stepmother turns into the witch to entice Snow White to take the apple. These are very physical, real changes that are completely changing how they look or sound. And I think by now you probably know that that's not possible. And you also know that it's not possible to, be like Sabrina and just snap and your outfit changes at will. That is not what glamour magic is. And I think most witches now know that none of those things are possible based on the laws of physics. So as much fun as all of those things would be to do, I think we all know that they are not possible. So when we are talking about glamour magic, we are not talking about this pop culture idea. So instead of these changes on a physical level that they show in movies, glamours in witchcraft instead focus on this mental, emotional, spiritual level to make changes. So witches use glamour magic to usually on themselves to help embody traits. So that could be self-confidence, bravery in general. It's often used for, when they public speaking or big, these big presentations that you have, you are using the glamours to help other people perceive you the way you want them to perceive you. And we often talk about using glamour magic in this way as, attracting something, making yourself, bigger, more confident, more noticeable, attracting, certain people to you. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that you can also use glamour in the complete opposite way as camouflage. It's not just about standing out. It's also very similar to a shield. I think there's this conflicting idea because the idea of glamour itself in society is trivial, it's girly, it's just something that's seen as frivolous. So maybe that's where the idea of glamours is only makeup comes from. It comes from this idea of it, glamour in general being something frivolous, but it's definitely not, and definitely not in witchcraft. It really can serve some important functions. So I wanted to touch on both sort of aspects of that. So like I said, glamour magic is this illusion magic to change perception, and specifically the perception of senses. So it could be how you perceive your own senses or how somebody else perceives their senses. It's about altering all of these aspects. It's not limited to, the typical five senses: sight, taste, sound, touch, and smell. It can also affect perception of time, emotions, sense of direction, belief, hunger, thirst, temperature, pain, fatigue, a lot of different things that can be altered by this idea of glamours. I do want to mention, though, I think it's important to note that glamours will be perceived differently by everyone. So you have to know that going in, because you might do a glamour for self-love in the morning. If you feel like you need an extra dose of confidence that day and you really want to be kind to yourself that day, you might do a self-love glamour. But when you go out into the world, you can't always control how exactly that is going to be perceived by other people. So they might see you as stuck up. They might think that you're so full of yourself and so snotty, because you can only control so much, and you cannot control all of their life experiences of, people they've dealt with in the past who have acted that way. So you might view it as self-love. They might view it as snotty. So you can only control so much. I just want to put that out there before you dive into glamour magic. It can alter people's senses, but you can't, control every aspect of that. So when we start talking about glamour magic, and I'll definitely get into all of the fun aspects of this and the makeup part of it, it kind of makes it seem, though, that it's only for feminine, girly witches, and not something that's accessible for everybody. So that's why I wanted to talk about using it as camouflage or a shield, because it's very obvious how certain women can use glamour magic, because we are taught that looking a certain way or being perceived in a certain way is how we are going to succeed. So as women, a lot of us are taught that doing your hair and having your makeup done and dressing well, dressing a certain way is going to change how you succeed in the world, change how you succeed in the corporate world, change how others treat you. And that's unfortunately is very true. But I think that's where glamour starts to cross over away from just trivial and frivolous into something that is more important and empowering. Because yes, women can use that to their advantage to gain, more power and more favorability. And now all of a sudden, glamour opens this whole new world for everyone. Because now we can start using glamour as camouflage and as a shield. So instead of dressing a certain way to get ahead, or, enchanting your makeup to have people perceive you as, competent and successful, you can also go the other way to camouflage. So this goes for women, men, anybody. If you are someone who does not identify as the gender that you were assigned at birth, or it's any gender, you can use glamour magic as needed to camouflage in the world. So would we like to live in a world where everybody is accepting all of the time? Yes. Do we? No. So camouflage in glamour magic in this way can help with those feelings, and they can also help on a true, safety level. I don't think anyone is unaware of the fact that we live in a world where jogging down the street in a certain neighborhood could mean the end of your life if you are not the color that they expect to be jogging in that neighborhood. So glamour can be a protection on many levels. Yes, we want to work towards changing that world and changing those realities that we currently live in. And we can do that, but we can use glamour magic at the same time to protect ourselves. Since you are altering people's perception, then you would use a glamour on yourself in those instances to make yourself appear non-threatening, to make yourself appear a certain way, to camouflage yourself so you're not noticed at all. Sometimes you will just want to blend into the background. Sometimes you want your home or your car to blend into the background and not be noticeable. As a woman walking home alone at night, you want to not be noticeable. So there's a lot of different reasons that you can and would want to use glamour magic as more of a shield than as sort of something to attract people to you and make you more noticeable. But I wanted to touch on both of those aspects because it's like any other part of witchcraft that you have these tools and you can use them however you best see fit. It is not just only one aspect. It's not only for women. It is not only for makeup or hair. There's a lot of ways to do it, and it does seem, on the surface like it's a very fun and maybe more frivolous form of magic. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be. And I think there is a lot of important protections and shields and things that can come from that. So it's important to understand and know all aspects of glamour magic. Like I mentioned, I don't think that glamour magic on its own is enough of a spell to truly be protected in those situations. So I would highly recommend doing that on top of other protection magics that you usually do, whatever your preferred form of a spell is, and just use the glamour in addition to that, just to be safe on all levels. But I think it can be a really helpful way to alter perceptions in those situations. So let's then get into what the tools are and how you do this, what you're really trying to do, and how you can sort of do this in your day-to-day life. I generally find that glamour and glamour magic is using the products that you already have sort of in your daily routine. So it's not just the makeup and beauty products, but it's really more of a daily practice, not something that is so ceremonial and ritualistic that you need these specialty items and casting a circle in a big sacred space. It's kind of something that you weave into your daily life. And the whole concept is drawing attention, enhancing what makes you you, and drawing attention away from the things that you don't like or don't want to focus on at this time. So makeup does that. I think a lot of us are familiar with that you have a feature that you like, so you use makeup to play it up. If you really like your eyes, then you probably go a little heavier on the eyeshadow and eyeliner and mascara. And if you're not a fan of your lips, then you kind of just leave them blank, so attention is drawn totally to your eyes and your favorite features. So glamour magic works in exactly that same way. You are enhancing the things that you want to enhance, that you want other people to see. They're already a part of you. There's already something in you. Let's say you are doing one for self-confidence and self-love. There's already a part of you that is confident, that does love yourself. You are just bringing that more towards the surface and focusing on that, enhancing that. So you see that more and other people see that more, and they see the other things less. You are just using the tools to show the world what you want them to see in you. And of course, let's get into the very practical ideas, ways to do this, things that you can do. First of all, I am going to have a Glamour Potion that's going to be up on Patreon tomorrow. So if you are a patron, then that will be up first thing in the morning for you to check out, in addition to the Glamour information that's already been on Patreon for a while. So absolutely check that out for a Glamour Potion. You could also use your shower and bath products. So we've talked before about ritual baths, but that is much more ceremonial and intention focused, takes a little bit longer, but you can just enchant all of your shower and bath products based on your intention. So if you have a presentation coming up that day and you want to appear confident, you want to appear authoritative on the subject that you're speaking on, you can infuse that intention into your shampoo, conditioner, body wash as you take your shower. And then visualize exactly how you want to appear during your presentation, how you want to look, how you want to speak and act, and how others are going to respond to that in return. You can, of course, charge your makeup and makeup brushes with this intention as well. there are a lot of different intentions. Of course, I'm using confidence as an example because I think a lot of people are familiar with having to get up and speak at school or at work and needing that extra boost in the morning. But there are a lot of different ways. If you are looking to attract love into your life, you can infuse that into your makeup so that you appear more attractive and your personality traits that you really love about yourself are more visible to the people that you meet, therefore attracting the right partner into your life. You can also do this with your lotions, perfumes, oils, anything that you apply onto your body can be infused with that intention before you put it on. And if you are not somebody that puts on perfume or makeup, you can also just do this with your moisturizer or sunscreen because that's something that most everybody uses, or you should. If you don't use sunscreen, use sunscreen. Little PSA for you. But you can draw a sigil on when you are putting on your sunscreen or moisturizer. Just take your finger and as you're applying that, draw your sigil for your intention. That could be love, confidence, protection, whatever that is. Create your sigil, draw that on your face. And then as you are rubbing that into your face, you are then activating that sigil and that glamour. In addition to, these products that you're putting on your body, you can also do this in your clothing, your nails, your jewelry. You can enchant jewelry. Again, that's something that I've put on Patreon before, where you enchant your intentions into what you're wearing. So that is very popular with protection, wearing a protection amulet, a necklace that you have charged with the intention of protection and put that on every single day. That can also be a form of glamour magic, and you can use any sort of intention. So when you are putting on that piece of jewelry, it's like activating that shield around you. And again, you can do that with your clothing, with your nails. You can incorporate color correspondences into that as well. So I think a lot of us have these deep-seated color correspondences where we associate pink and red with love and green with money. Lots of different ways that people react to different colors. So you can use those to your advantage and in your glamour magic, in using those to paint your nails in what clothing colors that you're wearing. This is often given as an example, not just for witches, but a lot of people in graduate school, I can speak for law school in particular, they tell you what to wear. And lawyers tell their clients what to wear in a courtroom because certain colors evoke certain emotions in people. So blue is very calming. It makes you look very innocent. And orange we associate with prison clothes. So orange makes you look guilty. Don't wear orange to court. So there are a lot of those color correspondences, and you can use those in your glamour magic as well. So if you are wanting to appear authoritative, confident, what color is that to you? And this is used across the board, not just in witchcraft, marketing, big corporations, food. A lot of fast food uses the same sort of colors in their schemes, in their branding inside their restaurants, because certain colors make you eat more, certain colors make you spend more money. Those things are deeply ingrained within all of us, so use them to your advantage in your glamour magic. You can also incorporate glamour magic into your hairstyle. So there was the episode on cord knot and ladder magic that was up a couple months ago, and braiding is one of those not magic things that we all do, so that absolutely applies to hairstyles as well. So you can braid your hair, and into each braid, you can place your glamour magic and your intention into those little knots that you are making. Another option is charging the crystals that you're going to carry with your intention to be perceived in that certain way, whatever it is that you need for the day. A lot of us carry crystals for any number of reasons, but one of those reasons can be your glamour magic intention. So carrying that with you, putting that specific intention on that crystal, and again, carrying that with you, and it sort of is an aura or shield around you to make others perceive you in that way you want to be perceived. And you can also, lastly, do glamour magic through your food and drinks. So I do this a lot with water in general, because I'm drinking water all day long, and water molecules change with our intention. Scientists have shown that that you can just think about water changing and it will change. It's very susceptible. So all I do is hold on to my cup of water before I drink it and visualize that intention that I have for it, visualize the way that I want to perceive myself, the way I want others to perceive me in that day, and just say that intention before I drink that water, and then that is inside of me, part of my aura now that I have consumed it. And the same aspect works for food. So it can be a great thing to do in the morning with your coffee, with your breakfast, to put the glamours into those and then consume them, and you have them with you throughout the day. So those are some of the most common ways. Some of the ways that I do it, I have the little Glamour Magic station, again, on Patreon if you want to see it. So I do that through my makeup. I do it through my skincare, through moisturizers. Like I said, I have sometimes used the products in my shower. I have used that by carrying crystals. Just most of the things on this list I am personally familiar with, but obviously not the only way that Glamour Magic can be done. So if you have any others to share, please let me know. That is everything that I have this week for Glamour Magic. A little bit of a shorter episode, but it's not a huge topic. So if you have any other questions or things that you want me to cover about Glamour Magic, then please let me know. Don't forget to check out Patreon if you have not. Again, the first day of the month is the best time to sign up because that is when it's charged. I have no control over that. So head over there because there is the Glamour Potion going up tomorrow, but there has also been previous Glamour Magic content for you to check out over there that might be helpful for you. So if you have any other questions, then please let me know. And if you have any other ideas for Glamour Magic that I did not add or something that you do, I will have the question box open over on Spotify so you can let everyone else in the community know what it is that you do in your daily life as part of your Glamour Magic. Or you can head over to the Discord server that is always linked over on Instagram, Witch Wednesdays Podcast, and it is free to join. And there are lots of witches in that community. So feel free to hop over there and share all of your different Glamour Magic ideas. That is everything that I have for you this week. I will see you next week. Need even more? Subscribe to Patreon and YouTube for exclusive bonus content. Order a themed witchcraft box every month through Witch Wednesdays on Etsy. Be sure to follow on Instagram at Witch Wednesdays Podcast. Find all these links and more at witchwednesdays.com.